answers and make sure you know exactly what you're doing for each type of question. So question number 1, what does the M stand for in slope-intercept form? The M stands for slope. So number 1, you should have slope. This is not grading, you're writing these in, okay? Write the correct answer in. I want you guys to have all the correct answers when you go home today. Number 1, slope. Number 2, they want to know what the B stands for. And remember, we're using this equation, y equals mx plus b. The B stands for your y-intercept. So number 2 is y-intercept. That just tells you where your line crosses the y-axis. Number 3, what is the slope in the following equation? Well, this equation is also in slope-intercept form. You just told me that slope is the letter M, and the number that is in the same place as the letter M in this case is a 3. So 3 is the answer to number 3. So like I said, if you're not getting them right, fix them. Please have the right answers when you go home. Question 4, write an equation for the following. Molly runs at a constant rate of 4 miles in 27 minutes. This is a word problem. You start word problems by doing y divided by x. Your distance goes over your time, so she's running 4 miles in 27 minutes. So that's how you set it up. And then you cross multiply. So what is diagonal from y? That's 27. So now those two are partners. What's diagonal from x? The 4. So those two are partners. To solve this equation, you want y to be by itself, so you're going to divide by 27 on both sides. So 27 divided by 27 is just 1. That one went away. You could figure out what 4 divided by 27 is to write it as a decimal, and when you do that, 4 divided by 27 equals 0.15. The reason why I would convert it to a decimal is because if you're trying to compare two things, I think decimals are the easiest to compare them with. So number 4, that is this one. 3 is 3. Okay, moving on to number 5. This is a graph, and mine is really, really small, but you can see here's your y-axis. It goes straight up and down. It crosses my y-axis at positive 4, so that means the letter B is 4. You need to find another point, and I found one all the way down here at the bottom. So to find my slope, remember it's rise over run. I have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that means that's the top number, so that's a 7, and then the bottom number is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I know my slope and I know my y-intercept. So what I do is I use this equation that we've been using, and I plug in, instead of writing plus b, I can use this 4, and instead of writing m, I can use 7/4. So y equals, I replace m with 7 over 4, I still write my x, and I replace plus b with plus 4. So that's the equation for number 5. There will be a question just like that on your test. Number 6, I did with you on the board. I had it up there, but I'm going to keep doing it just in case. So number 6, it asks you to find the x and the y-intercept for this equation right here. So you make a t-chart. You make x 0, which means your x value and the number that's attached to x go away, which just leaves you with 9y equals 18. Divide by 9 on both sides, and you get y equals 2. So we've got our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is 2. Now we need our x-intercept. So we make y 0. So the y and the 9 are now disappeared. And you have 6x equals 18. Divide by 6. And this is going to give you your x-intercept, which is 3. So my y-intercept is 2. My x-intercept is 3. If I wanted you to graph this on your graph, you just plot these points. You go over 0 up 2, make a point. You go over 3 up 0, make a point, and there's your graph. Next one, 7, write an equation that will have the same graph as this one. All you have to do is take this times whatever number you want other than 1 or 0. So I'm going to take it times 2. 2x times 2 is 4x. 3y times 2 is 6y, and 12 times 2 is 24. This is going to give me the exact same line as the first one. You can multiply it by whatever number you want other than 0 or 1. Question 8. What is the y-intercept? That's just the letter B. So you're trying to figure out which number is in the same spot as this right here, and that would be -4. So number 8 is -4. Number 9, what is the y-intercept? So you find your y-axis on your graph and you figure out what number it crosses at. In this case, it crosses at 1, so the y-intercept is 1. They skip 10 when I'm going in order till the very end, so you need to make sure you're on the second group of numbers. We're starting on number 11 now. What is the slope from this graph? So I find 2 points, here's a point, and here's a point. I have to go up 1, 2, 3. So my slope, my top number is 3. My bottom number is a 1. So you could say 3 over 1, or you could just say 3. This is number 11. Number 12. Type A fills up 5 buckets in 3 minutes. This is a word problem. You start this with doing y over x. Time always goes on the bottom, so you've got 5 buckets in 3 minutes. Minutes is a time, so we're going to put the 3 on the bottom and the 5 on the top. Diagonally, 3 and y point to each other, and 5 and x point to each other. So all I have to do is divide by 3, and so if I figure out what 5 divided by 3 is, I think it's like 1.6 repeated, so that is what your equation for that situation is. Y equals 1.6x. We did a bunch of those on that one where you compared, like you so-and-so can run this fast, and what's the equation for that? And then the other person can run this fast, and then we compared the two. So we did a bunch of those on that lesson. That was not too long ago. This one says, are the two equations the same line? So what you're going to do is look at your x values. The top one, or your first equation's x, will go on the top. The second one will go on the bottom. So I'm looking at 2 divided by 4, which is 0.5. Now I'm going to check to see if my y values have the same ratio. My first y is a 4, my second y is a 7, and 4 divided by 7 is 0.57. So are those two numbers the same? If they are the same, you keep going and you try the third one, 16 divided by 20. But if they're not the same, you know that that's not the same line. So automatically, since 0.5 and 0.57 are not the same, they're different lines. So the answer is no. So that's 13. 14, does this graph have a positive or negative slope? Well, is it going uphill or downhill? So it's negative slope. So number 14 is negative. 15 and 16, I showed you an example of this. I might have even shown you the exact problem in the class, but I want to change this to standard form. Right now it's in slope-intercept form. So all I have to do is move my x to the other side. Right now I have negative 2x, so to move that, I would say positive 2x right here. So now I have 2x. This is a positive y, so I say plus y equals 4. If my first number is positive, then you're done. You circle it, and that's in standard form now. So that is the answer to number 15. Number 16 is the exact same situation as that one, except for you have one more step to solve. So y equals 4x plus 8. That is slope-intercept form. To move my x over, I do the opposite, negative 4x and negative 4x. That goes away on the right side. On the left side, I have negative 4x. This is a positive y, so plus y equals 8. Is your first number negative? Yeah. If it's negative, you do the opposite of all of this. The opposite of negative 4x is 4x. The opposite of positive y is negative y. The opposite of positive 8 is negative 8. And this would be your answer right here. We worked on that the other day. So that is number 16. Number 17. What is the slope? The slope is negative 6. You could say m equals negative 6 or just negative 6. It's the number right in front of x. So that's 17. 18, who's going to win the Super Bowl? That's an opinion question, but I feel like it should be the Chiefs. I don't know. 19 is 2. 7 minus 5. Hopefully you got that one. 20, who's your teacher? That would be me, Mrs. Alexander. Hopefully you got that one. This is number 10. So go back and make sure you're on number 10. It says, are you going to study for your test tonight by watching the study guide video? Hopefully you wrote yes. Now you have a video of me going over this review, and there are questions from this review that are on your test. So if you're trying to study, watch me do these problems and figure out how to do them yourself. 21. What form is this problem in? Is it in slope intercept or is it in standard form? So that is in standard form. That's all you had to do for 21. 22, I'm pretty sure I accidentally put the same question on here twice, but you find 2 points on your line and you do your slope, which is rise over run. I have to go up 1, 2, 3, and I have to go right 1. So you could say 3 over 1, or you could just say 3. And the last question on here is, what is the y-intercept for this graph? So you go on your y-axis, which is this line that goes straight up and down, and you figure out where it crosses. It crosses at negative 4. You should have gotten that the color of Imposter is purple. So, to study tonight, watch the video of the study guide. Make sure you bring your study guide to class tomorrow. Watch this video.